don't need to say a word. Are we live? Good morning. Good morning out there on the World Wide Web. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me today. So this is our chair yoga class. And just as a reminder, this is ultimately your practice. If something does not feel good in your body, don't feel like you need to participate. You're welcome to take a step back. Just kind of relax back, whatever you need to do. I think I need to actually take a tiny little move back so that I'm more visible. There we go. Get all my notebooks. All right, so today we're gonna have a 1-hour class. And I always like to start class and end class with just a few moments of kind of quiet and just kind of a little bit of internal reflection. And today I'm going to be sharing from this book called Don't Worry, 48 Lessons on Relieving Anxiety from a Zen Buddhist monk. This book, I borrowed it here at the library, the Crossroads library. It's overdue, I'm sorry, it's coming back to you today. It's a really good little book. I actually very much would like to add this to my library, so I need to get this on order for myself. So let's begin first by finding ourselves into our seat. So if you're at home, you want to find a nice sturdy chair, maybe a kitchen chair that doesn't have a cushion on it. You want something that you can really kind of feel into your sit bones into the chair. Now, obviously, if you like and prefer to have a cushion, you're welcome to have your cushion. You do you. I'm going to tell you what I do. But ultimately, your practice, and I'm kicking my shoes off because I can't stand them. That's why I became a yoga teacher. I don't have to wear shoes. So we're going to find our feet right on the floor in front of the body. We want to make sure that we have the knees in front of the hips, the toes pointing straight ahead. So if you peek down and you notice, I just noticed my toes are kind of going this way. I'm going to bring them right back in front of the body. And I just thought about this. Is my headphone on? Pause for just 1 second. It was. Now I just turned it off. We'll turn it back on again. Okay, so once you find your sit bones under the body, you're just kind of giving that little rock back and forth. And then typically I would have you place a blanket on the back of your chair because these chairs particularly, you're kind of leaning back a little bit. So try to let yourself sit up really tall so that your shoulders come right over top of your hips and you're lifting up through the crown of the head. One of the ways I like to do this is just give a little rock forward and back. Maybe even closing down the eyes here and giving yourself an opportunity to find stillness again. And then notice if your shoulders have stacked over your hips. And really, we have no way of checking that. We're not sitting in front of a mirror. But just feeling into your own body if that's where you've landed today. Good. So let's begin here. And let's begin by noticing our own breath. Noticing how you're breathing. If you're breathing in through your nose or between parted lips. If you're breathing shallow, if you're just breathing into the chest, or if you're able to take that fuller, deeper breath. And we're really not changing a single thing yet. We're just simply noticing and observing your body. Notice if it feels as though your breath is coming easily, or if it's a little bit of a struggle. Now, before we change a thing, let's take a moment and notice into the body. Notice if you're holding tension across your forehead or your brows, into your jaw, your neck or shoulders, into the upper back and mid back, your low back, into your hips and legs. Noticing again if you're feeling any tension, any stress, if you're noticing any little aches or pains. Just witness your body. Now we're going to start to take a few deeper and fuller inhales and exhales here. And as we do that, if you have noticed that you have spaces of tension or tightness or a little ache or pain, I want you to imagine that as you breathe in, that you're breathing into that space of tension. And as you exhale, you're releasing that tension or stress. So let's begin by taking a full breath in through your nose. Fill your belly with breath. And a long, slow exhale between parted lips. A full breath in through your nose. Long, slow exhale between parted lips. Once more, just like that. We take that big breath in through the nose. Fill your belly as big and round as you can. And a long, slow exhale breath. And now let's just let the breath come back naturally. Taking a moment to notice if the breath is moving a little more fully or deeply, if it's coming a little more easily. So from this book today, I want to share from chapter 2. The title of chapter 2 is Focus on Now. This is about cherishing ourselves. Some people brood over memories. You might say that they're stuck in the past. There is a Zengo, which I looked up. A Zengo is a little wise saying from these Buddhist monks. They've given it their own little name. And it says, dwell in the breath. Taken quite literally, this means that we live in the moment when you are drawing breath, and as conscientiously as you possibly can. And this also resonates with the Buddhist concept of dwell in the three worlds. These three worlds are the past, the present, and the future. And we live in the connections among these three worlds, though when we find ourselves in the present, the past is already dead while the future is about to be born. This is how we explain the Buddhist concept of samsara, the cycle of death and rebirth. How everything is born and then dies, and everything that dies is reborn. Put another way, there's no use rethinking the past that is dead and gone, nor should we think about the future that is yet to be born until it arrives. That is to say, all that matters is how we live in the here and the now. There's a little poem here that they share that says, even the chipped bowl was once a cherry tree on Mount Yoshino. What now appears to be a worn-out piece of china was once a magnificent cherry tree in full bloom on Mount Yoshino, where throngs of onlookers gasped in wonder at its beauty. Our past glory and honor become the foundation for our present state. But this is not about Yoshino cherry blossoms. Some people never seem to miss a chance to bring up their brilliant past. I worked on such a huge job. I'm the one that made that project a success. Of course, it's important to acknowledge the satisfaction one feels after a job well done. It's also nice to raise a glass to celebrate a victory. But is it appropriate to linger so often on old stories? Let's shift our perspective. Not that old hobby horse again. It's so tedious and boring. Have you ever heard something like that? Quite honestly, it's unpleasant to have to listen over and over again to long-winded tales of past glories. And isn't it rather unseemly for the one doing the talking? It's hard not to think they're quite unhappy. A fixation on the past is an indication of a person's lack of confidence in the present. This is how anxiety, worry, and fear creep into your heart and mind. One might even say it's equivalent to undermining your present self. Let me reiterate it again. All that matters is how we live now and here in this present moment. If you bemoan the fact that your present self is nothing more than a chipped bowl or a dead-end job or ... that will only magnify your unhappiness. Even a chipped bowl can be a vessel for delicious soup to warm someone's soul. So now, let's be the best chip bowl that we can be. So to me, that's what it means to dwell in the breath. Welcome, come on in. You're fine, come on in. So, as we move today, let yourself be present right here. And one of the ways that I remind myself to be present right here, right now, is that I have to be right here, right now, because I'm here with you, and I can't worry about my to-do list that is here to come. It's still going to be there when I finish. Whatever that to-do list might look like, right here is what's the most important thing for us to focus on. So let yourself be present here and now, and we'll work within the breath. So let's begin today by taking some neck rolls. So the first thing I want you to do is drop your chin towards your chest, let your gaze move towards your lap. And then we're going to take the gaze up towards the sky and feel that stretch along the front of your throat now. And then tip your chin back towards your chest and notice that stretch along the back length of your neck. Can you even notice those muscles pulling maybe just a little bit into the shoulder blades even? And lift the gaze back towards the ceiling again. And here, can you feel that gentle pull across the front of your chest and into those tiny little muscles here? Good. And bring your gaze straight back forward again. And let's drop our right ear towards our right shoulder. And come back up through center and left ear, left shoulder. Good. And take that back to center and let's go right ear, right shoulder. And let's make this a little bit extra. Bring your right hand up and just rest it on the top of your head. We're not pulling. We're just simply resting the hand on top of our head. Our hand weighs about a pound, pound and a half. So just that little bit of extra weight here is going to help release a little bit more here. Then we could reach our left hand down towards the ground a little bit. And you're going to notice even more of a stretch there. Take a big full inhale for me. And a long, slow exhale through the nose. One more big breath in. And exhale. Good. Let's release. Come up through center. And tip your left ear towards your left shoulder. And bring your left hand up now, resting on top of the head. And again, we're not pulling. We're just resting. Reach your right fingertips down towards the ground. Take a full inhale breath. And exhale. Full breath in. And full breath out. Good. Now come back through. Lift up through the crown of the head. Let the hands come back down beside the body. This will be our seated mountain pose. So the palms open towards the front of the room. We have our shoulders stacked over our hips. We feel that lift through the crown of the head. At the same time, we're grounding through the sit bones, through your feet in front of the body. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. And on your exhale, let the hands float back down. Inhale, reach and stretch your arms high overhead. And exhale, let your hands float back down. Inhale, take a big reach up and overhead. Bring your palms together and exhale and draw your hands to heart center. Press your palms together, your fingertips together. Inhale, press the hands up and overhead. And this time we'll take an exhale and cactus your arms. Draw your elbows down like you're creating some football goals or just cactus arms. And feel that little bit of a squeeze between your shoulder blades. Inhale, reach your fingertips back up to the sky. This time we're going to take a little forward fold. Exhale. Ooh. Take that little hinge through your waist. Let your fingertips drop towards your toes. Just close that gap between your chest and your lap. And then if you're able to release through your head and let your chin tuck to your chest and your forehead towards the knees. We're not concerned about how far we're going or if we're actually touching toes. We're just leaning forward. On the inhale breath, we're going to start to rise back up. Stack your body back, sit bones, land back on the chair. One vertebra stacks upon the next. We lift up through the shoulders, roll your shoulders towards your ears and down your back. Let your palms open to the sides of the body. Lift through the crown of your head. Inhale, stretch the arms high overhead. Let's do that same thing again. Whew, exhale, fold over, a little hinge through the hips, and I promise you sound effects help. And let's take that reach again. Inhale, rise back up. Ground through the sit bones. Stack the vertebra one at a time. Keep the chin tucked to the chest. Round your shoulders towards your ears. Lift through the crown of your head. Open the palms to the sides of your body. Beautiful. Now reach your arms up. Reach wide. And we're going to go palms to the ground. So again, I said sound effects help, and I mean it. Nobody's watching, so we're going to make this real fun. We're going to go bring our fingertips together. Good. Now, ready for this? This is where it gets fun. Hiya. Yes, thank you for participating. Inhale, bring your fingertips together. Hiya. Exhale, we open. Inhale, bring those fingertips together. Try to keep your palms parallel, your arms parallel, so we've got shoulders to elbows to wrists. Hiya, we open, yes. Now bring your football goals back for me. Now bring your forearms and palms together in front of the body. Anybody ever use this machine at the gym that's got some weight on it? So chest flies. So we're going to open back up. Now this time I want you to imagine that you have 50 pounds on that machine. So it's going to take all of your effort to bring these arms together. Ready? Let's bring them together. Lots and lots and lots of resistance here. Yeah, Gregorio, you got this. Bring them forearms together back there. Yeah, now, we're not going to let this weight clang off the floor because that makes me mad at the gym when they do that. We're going to open back up nice and slow, lots of resistance. We bring that open. Let your imagination run wild. It could be 100 pounds on there if you want. All right, let's bring it back together again. Lots of resistance. Bring those forearms back together again. Beautiful. Forearms and palms come together. All right, don't let that weight hit the floor. Open back up for me nice and slow. Good stuff. Let's go one more time. We bring those forearms together. Somebody joined us. I hope you joined us during the hayas. Forearms together, palms together. Open back up. This is one thing I love about my yoga studio. Shake those arms out. We have fun. All right. Take an inhale. Reach your arms high. Exhale. Whoo, let them go. Shake the arms out. Okay? Inhale. Reach them up. Exhale. Whew. And Steph, I saw you back there folding it all the way over. I love that. Inhale, reach it all the way up. This is one way it helps us release anxiety. Whew, let it go. Shake those arms. Bring your arms back up and overhead. Good. Exhale, let your hands float back down sides of body. Good stuff. Bring your arms up in front of the body. Let's make fists with the hands. And I want you to tense your arms from your fist to your shoulder across your chest and back. Lots of tension here. If you want to scrunch up your face, you can scrunch up your face too. And then release and wiggle the fingers. Yeah. All right, do it again. Tense. Wiggle them out. Good. Inhale and tense. Exhale, wiggle it out. Good stuff. Bring your palms together. And now we're going to create some little figure eights with our palms. So we're just going to kind of little figure eights, little swimming hands. And you can make this small. You can make this big. Use your imagination. Think you're playing with a little one and y'all are reading a book about fish and you're making fish swim with your hands. And you can take your fish up into the sky because now it's a flying fish. And then he dives deep again and swims around. I know this seems so silly. One of the things that I like to work on is movement of your joint. If we don't move your joints, they don't move. If we get an injury and then we don't move it, it gets stuck and we get adhesions and then we have limited range of mobility. So we just want to keep things moving fast and slow and big and small. These are silly things you can do while you're watching your favorite TV show in your chair. If anyone's at home with you, they might think you're crazy. Your cat may be like, huh? It's okay. All right. Now, come back to center for me. I want you to reverse your direction. So, think about this. Just go back to your figure eights. What's your automatic direction that you're going to go? Right. Okay, now take it the other way. How weird does that feel? Gregorio's like, man, you got this, you got this. So, the other thing that's really cool about doing something different than normal, we build new neural pathways. So, just like we do puzzles, we do Sudoku, we do things that challenge our mind. We learn a new language. I thought I was doing good. It's Italian I need to learn, not just Spanish. We learn these things, and it keeps those neural pathways open and building, and that keeps us fresh. Keeps everybody guessing what we're up to. We're living that atypical life, not that typical life. All right, I went back to normal. Man, okay, backwards. Backwards. Oh, whoever was with us left. Damn. Okay, so from here, let's come back to those long arm reaches again. Okay, so now I want you to think about Everything is solid. The only thing you can move here is your humerus bone and your shoulder joint. So we're going to turn the palms towards the back of the body, towards the sky. If you want to get fresh with this, you could do both directions. You could keep it going the same way. And try to keep your neck really soft as you do this. So I just caught myself like clenching. Anybody else catch themselves doing that? So try to keep your neck loose. We're rotating in that shoulder joint. Ooh, and if you get tired, shake it out. That can be a lot because that's movement that we're not used to. Do some shoulder shrugs. Did I do the choo-choo train last time? Take that chain down the track. All right, let's take that big reach again. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Good. One more. Inhale. Exhale. All right, we worked a lot up in the upper body, so let's start to move down into the lower body. Let me have you scooch up onto the edge of your chair a little bit. Scooch back just the tiniest little bit again. And then let your feet be just a little bit wider than hip distance. And bring your hands to your knees. Take a big full inhale breath here. And on your exhale, fold forward and let your heart become parallel to the ground. Inhale, come back tall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach back up. Good. One more time. Exhale, fold. Heart parallel to the ground. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Inhale, come back up. All right, now we're going to give a little try here. Let's bring our right knee up. Let's see if we can give it a little hug. Now, you can reach behind your thigh and just hug up this way. You could hug in front of your shin. What I want you to kind of do, though, is try to keep your heart lifted and keep tall in your spine. Rather than rounding back, we're going to try to sit as tall as we can. Nice. Good job. All right, let's let that leg come back down. Now let's go other leg. Let's give that left leg a little hug and squeeze into the body wherever we land, whether that be behind the thigh or across the shin. We're going to try to sit as tall as we can up through the crown of our head. Good. Come back down. All right, let's do a little bit more here. Let's bring that right leg back up. Inhale. Exhale, release and fold. Whew. Good. Inhale, come tall. Bring that knee in. I just figured out where my daughter gets her sound effects from. Inhale, let that go. Fold it back down. She's a cosmetologist student. Inhale, come tall. So she'll never be watching this. So as she is doing things, we'll bring that right leg back in. She's making sound effects as she's doing it. And I'm like, baby, when they start like paying you, like you can't make sound effects like chop, chop, chop while you're doing their hair. Fold here. Inhale, back up. Let's bring that left knee in. Yeah, makes it more interesting. We'll bring that leg back down. Good stuff. Let's let our left shoulder drop towards the center and look over your right shoulder. Anybody remember Solid Gold? Sunday night, 7 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, come through center. Let's let the right shoulder come to the inside middle. Look over your left shoulder. So this makes me think of shimmies. Come through center. Left shoulder comes back to the middle. Look over your right. Pressing that left hand into the left thigh, we lift back up through center. Right hand on that right thigh, let that drop to center. Look over your left shoulder. And come back through center. Good. Walk your feet back in, right in front of your knees. So we're going for that nice straight line again, toes pointing straight ahead. Let's move into some seated cat-cow. We're going to bring our hands to our knees. I'm going to turn sideways so it's a little easier to see. So on cat-cow, we're going to move so that on cat, our back rounds towards the back of the body. Our tailbone tucks under. We tuck our chin towards our lap. And then we're going to pull through to cow, where the belly rounds to the front of the body. Our shoulders draw back, our heart lifts, and our gaze lifts, and your tailbone kind of pops up a little bit. Round back through, come to cat back. Draw the heart through. We take that gaze up. The tailbone lifts. We draw the shoulders back. Now let's see if we can put some connection to breath here. Round through on the inhale. Exhale, pull the heart back through, we find cow. Inhale, round through cat. Exhale, we pull through for cow. Good. Let's go once more each way. Inhaling for cat. Exhaling, pulling the heart through for cow. Good. Now come back to neutral for me. Perfect. Now let's step our right leg out to the side of the body. I got to scooch up just a little bit more here. And we still want our left leg to be right in front of our hip, toes still straight ahead, right leg out to the side. Now, just like we did with our arms and all we moved was that shoulder joint, I want you to do the same thing with your leg. But now we have the femur bone and the hip joint. The leg is one solid unit. We're going to turn our toes to the front of the body and turn your toes to the back of the body. Toes turn to the front, toes turn to the back. Now remember, everybody's range of motion is a little bit different. So if you've had a hip replacement or if you have just kind of some hip aches going on, you may not have big range of motion here. I actually had an injury a couple weeks ago, so my left side is angry at me and my range of motion is completely different. And that varies from day to day. So you may feel great today. Tomorrow you may notice a little bit of soreness in the body and this may not feel as good tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. Honor your body, do what suits you. Remember though, we want some movement in there. So the other thing that's really amazing with this type of movement, let's switch out legs here. Let's bring the right leg in, and then I'll keep talking. Ground that foot, toes straight ahead, knee straight ahead, send that left leg out. Oh yeah, it's still angry. And we're gonna take those toes to the front of the body and toes to the back of the body. To the front and to the back. Okay, so back to my little speech. So when we do this type of movement where we're just gently moving joint and bone, there's synovial fluid in there that surrounds the joint. If we don't move it, it just kind of gets stagnant and hangs out. When we actually move the joint, it's like giving your body an oil change. So new synovial fluid is created. So when we move and it has that movement in the joint, the body's like, oh, hello, we need some fresh synovial fluid. Let's make that. Let's get it making. So it makes it and it keeps it fresh in there and things stay more lubricated and move a little more easily. So if you've ever had a cast before and you've had a joint that's been immobilized, when you get that cast off, it's like, oh, I don't want to move it. I don't want to, it hurts. It's not had what it needs. Okay, let's bring that leg back in. Okay, good stuff. Let's take an inhale breath. Reach your arms high. On the exhale breath, let's take a little twist. Let your left hand, bring a little awareness to your left hand by wiggling your fingers. Bring that to the outside of your right knee and reach your right arm behind your body. Look over your right shoulder. Take that full breath in and full breath out. Now, we want sensation, we don't want pain. So you want to feel like you're twisting, but you don't want pain. If something hurts, back off a little bit. One more big breath right here. And the exhale breath. Good. Inhale, bring your arms back up and overhead. Turn your heart and your gaze back to center. Bring awareness out to your right fingertips. And on the exhale breath, we're going to bring that right hand to the outside of the left knee. And the left hand's going to reach behind the body. And we're going to look over our left shoulder. A full breath in. And a full breath out. Are you allowing yourself to be where your breath is right now? Or is your mind wandering to what you need to do in a little while? Nice full breath in. And a full breath out. Good. Inhale, bring the arms back up through center. And now this time I want to do the same thing, but I just want to keep the arms kind of windmilling, if you will. On the exhale breath, let your right hand fall behind your body and your left hand falls forward. So we're just reaching front and back of the room. And then on the inhale, bring your arms back up through center. Bring awareness to your left hand, just so you know which one it is. Exhale, take your left hand behind the body, right hand forward. Good. Inhale, come back up through center. Now I want you to think about letting this movement originate through your waist. Awareness to right fingertips, twist to your right. Right hand falls behind the body, left hand falls forward. Inhale, we come back through center. Exhale, twist to your left again. Left hand falls back, right hand forward, long line. Inhale, come center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, we come center. Exhale, twist left. Good. Inhale, come back up nice and tall in the center. Exhale, come back to your seated mountain pose, hands open to the sides of the body. Good. Okay, let's find here some toe lifts and heel lifts. So let's begin by lifting the toes. So we're going to let the heels stay grounded. We're just going to lift the toes. Ground them back down. Lift the toes, ground them back down. We lift the toes and they come back down. We lift and we lower and we lift and we lower. I feel like we need a good song. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. We lift and we lower. Good. Now let's reverse this and go heels. Lift the heels. Lower the heels. We lift the heels. Lower the heels. We lift. We lower. We lift. And we lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Now, let's get fresh again. Toes, heels. Rocking through the feet. Heels go down, toes come up. So just rock. We got a good tune in our mind. I can't even think of something good to say. My mama would say Beach Boys. Little Deuce Coupe, maybe? Little Deuce Coupe? That'd be a good song. Little Red Corvette? That's Prince, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Wrong generation. I just got this book this weekend that was talking about how we pass down things generationally. And for instance, my boys. Like, I'm seeing my dad and my boys in ways that they wouldn't know because they didn't know him. And it's really cool to see one son's very interested in woodworking. The other son is very interested in raising his chickens. And the same son that is woodworking is gardening. And it's just crazy to think that those little genes were passed down through the generations. Okay, let's come back into stillness. Now let's go into marching. Let's draw that right knee up, right knee down, left knee up. It doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. We're just going to march in place here, lifting the leg as high as is comfortable in your body. Now, we're still thinking about tall crown, seated through the sit bones. Lift, lift, lift. Good stuff. Doing a good job over here. Tell me your name.
Liza.
Liza. Thanks for being here, Liza. I didn't catch it before class started. Good. Okay.
Sorry I was late.
That's okay. All right, let's pause. Okay, now, I got a fun one for you. Send your right leg out in front of you. Now, ready? Ready. Okay, so we're just going to work on lifting the leg. And we're going to lift it as high as it feels comfortable in your body. We're not comparing. We're not worrying about what our neighbor is doing. We're just lifting our leg. Okay, now, anybody feeling spicy today? Gregorio's got me. You ready? You going to do this with me? Steffi's got me. Ready? All right, we're going to clap our hands underneath that leg. Clap. Now, you're going to have a little bit of an arch through your back as you do that. Now, if you can't get here, and that's okay, right? We could clap our thigh. Oh, anybody else's leg getting a little warm? It's getting a little warm. Let's get a little spicy in there. Okay, let's let that one down. Okay, let's go left leg. Send that leg out. Ground down through that right foot. Lift your left. And you're lifting it as high as you are able in your own body. Maybe it's an inch or two. Maybe you're like, look at me. We're not doing that though. Yoga is a beautiful thing because it is truly about your own journey. Everybody is in their own space. Okay. All right, we feeling spicy yet? Feeling spicy. Let's do it. Let's clap. Whether that's on the outside of the thigh or whether that's under. Come on, my pickleball king. You got this.
I still think it should be relaxing, not painful.
You got a game later? Got them thighs warmed up yet?
No, I haven't been playing actually.
No?
But she won't play now more than
Oh, all right, good stuff. Let's take a little break there. Okay, so coming back to those building new little neurons, I like to do this one. It's called the Charleston. So we're just going to start with the legs first, and then we're going to add in the rub the belly, tap the head thing. Oh, really? Okay, so we're going to take the toes out, and then the heels out, and then the toes out. And then we're going to bring the toes back in, the heels in, and the toes in. Kind of feel where we're going here? Toes out, heels out, toes out. Toes in, heels in, toes in. Toes out, heels in, toes out. Toes, heels, toes, toes, heels, toes. Doesn't matter if you're not with me. Does not matter. Now, once you've got this, We're gonna cross our hands on our knees. So not really rubbing the belly and patting the head, but kinda. And if you feel like you lost it, just come back to the feet. We're about to come up to stand here for a few minutes. Woo, 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 woo. Anybody ever do, oh gosh, I lost the name, the grapevine? Like way back in the day? Yeah.
Jewish.
Bar mitzvahs. There's so
Great
over,
friends.
so over the years, like lots of different exercise programs. I think I've done the grapevine in every program out there. Okay, we can come to pause. All right, how we feeling? Feeling pretty good? All right, let's come up to stand. Okay, so we're gonna come to stand and we're gonna stand behind our chair. So the first thing that we're gonna do, and you can leave your chair right where yours is at, I'm just turning sideways so the folks at home can see. So the first little like cautionary thing, if you are a glaucoma patient, rather than looking straight at the floor, you are gonna keep your vision straight ahead, okay? So we're gonna do what's called the kitchen sink stretch. We're gonna bring our hands to the back of our chair and we're gonna start to walk ourselves back. Now, when you walk yourself back, I want you to keep your knees nice and soft, so don't block out your knees. You don't need a really deep bend, but just a really soft bend in your knees, and then stretch yourself out. So you are creating this long, beautiful line from your hands to your head, to your shoulders, to your hips, and this is gonna look different for everybody. So I want you to find a space where you feel like you're getting a really good stretch from your fingertips to your hips. And I'm gonna take a little walk around. Good. Good, good.
Are you able to take one more step back, or is that about where you feel comfy? Like that.
Farther.
I was saying, if you can go further, I'm here for you. Yeah, good. You're not a welcome patient. Yeah, good. That looks nice. Looks good. Original, right? Yes. Yeah. Good job.
Ooh, y'all are killing it. Take a big breath in right here for me. And an exhale. And if you're at home practicing with me, this is a beautiful one, and all of y'all here with me, if you take this at the bathroom or wherever you have a big full-length mirror that you can take a look at your back and just kind of check in. This stretch is one that I see huge improvement with people within 2 and 3 weeks of practice. Just one time a week of practicing this, just huge improvements. Go ahead and start to walk your feet back towards your chair. Whew. Maybe give the legs a little wiggle out if they're feeling any sort of way. Good. Okay, so let's do a calf stretch now. And we're gonna go right leg, but I'm gonna do my left leg, okay? So we're gonna ground your left leg at your chair and then step your right leg back. Take a really big, long step for you. Whatever a long step looks like for you behind you, hold onto your chair so you've got that support. And then I want you to bend into your front knee so that your front knee is over your front ankle. Now, instead of being here, try to let yourself have some space away from the chair so that your shoulders are mostly over your hips, nice and tall. And then let's take an inhale, rise up on your tippy toe of that left foot, right foot. Exhale, sink it back down. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, rise up. Good. This time we're going to exhale. We're going to sink back into that. And we're going to hang out right here. Should feel a really nice stretch in your right calf muscle. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Good. Inhale, breath. And exhale. One more. Big full breath. Fill into your belly. Exhale, let it go. Good. Come high on the toe of the right foot. Now we're going to step in, but we're still going to leave some space between the feet. So about a foot. And then we're going to bend both knees, kind of like you're sticking your booty out. We're still going to keep the heart lifted. And this just changes the angle and stretches into the calf muscle just slightly different. So just kind of that little squat, if you will. Take a big inhale. and an exhale. Full breath in, and your full breath out. Good. Inhale, stand tall. Let's step that right foot in close. And now let's go other side. So we'll step the left foot back, whatever a big long stride looks like for you. We're keeping the heart lifted, the shoulders mostly over hips. And then we're going to take that inhale, and we're going to rise up on our tippy toe. Exhale, sink it back down. Front knee over front ankle. Inhale, we stretch and lengthen. Exhale, come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink back down. Good, and we're gonna hang out right here. Take a big breath into your belly. Maybe bring your hand to your belly if you feel comfortable doing so. Feel that breath fill you up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, breath. Exhale, let go. One more, big full inhale, breath. Exhale. Good, come nice and tall. Step that left foot in a little closer. We keep a little bit of space between the feet, and then we bend into both knees. A little bit of a booty popping spot. Keep that heart tall, shoulders over hips, and then we just sink down into both heels. And again, this is also calf stretch, but just a little bit of a different take on it, a little bit of a different way to target the muscle. A full breath in, and a full breath out. Inhale, breath. And an exhale. One more, full inhale. Exhale, stand tall, bring your feet back in. Okay, are we feeling like maybe we could do a little grapevine? Maybe? Let's give it a whirl. Okay, so let me turn this way. So y'all are in the same spot as me. Take a step to the right of your chair, keep your left hand on your chair. Now, if you feel more comfortable staying close enough that you can keep both hands, we can take this a little bit smaller, but take this in a way that feels okay for you. Now, we're going to bring our left leg and step close to your chair in the center. Bring your right leg and step behind. And then bring your left leg off to the left side. And bring your right foot in to meet together. Okay? I can't see you, so hoping you're with me. Right leg close to the chair. Left leg behind. Right leg steps to right. Left leg together. Okay, left to center, right behind, left to left, right together. Right to the chair, left behind, right to the side, left together. And you can see how I'm using my hands to help me here. Left to center, then both hands hit that chair, right hand behind, right foot behind, left to the end, right together. Right to the chair, left behind, right to the side, left together. How we doing back there? I'm going to turn so I can see y'all. And it's all good. We'll step close, behind, to the end, together. To the chair, behind, off to the side, together. Good. Center, behind, and together. And like I said, we can keep this small, so we can go chair, behind, side, together. Chair, behind, off to the side, together. To the chair, behind, off to the side, together. Chair, behind, off to the side, together. I can see that bar mitzvah in you. To the chair, behind, side, back. Good job. I really just want to put like a hop in the middle of this, and I'm like, it is not appropriate to put a hop in the middle of this right now. All right, good work. Okay, let's do a little tree pose now. So we've got our chair, and I'm just going to turn this way. Okay, so let's ground down through our left foot. So our left foot's the root of our tree. Your right foot, bring your toe to the ground next to you. Now, our body is perfectly shaped. We were created exactly as we should be. The arch of our foot kind of wraps the ankle a bit here. Now, as you land here, 2 points. Think about pulling your knee back, and then that left hip, think about pulling it under your body. So, as we age, these outside glute muscles tend to get a little weaker, and we start to sway a little bit like we did back in our teens. We shouldn't do that. Those muscles are weak. So that muscle, we want to keep it engaged and pull it back up and under the body. Now, if you're feeling pretty confident right here, and you're like, I think I could do a little more, you could bring that foot up so that the arch of the foot wraps your calf muscle. I'm not going to yell at you if you're able to bring it to your knee, or if you're feeling extra, if you want to bring it even higher, you're welcome to. I'm not going to yell wherever it lands. We're not doing anything that's going to cause any injury here. Let that right knee pull back, left hip under body. Now, you've got both hands on that chair. If you're feeling confident again, you're like, I got this. If you want to reach that right arm up, you can reach your arm up. Good. And then if you're still like, I got this, Hope, if you want to bring your other, I'm going to fall over, you can bring your other arm up too. Now, when you're in this position, you want to keep what's called drishti, your focus, your right ahead. Pick a point ahead, not me because I'm wobbly. Pick a fixed point ahead of you and let your gaze land there. You could let your gaze go a little fuzzy. Let your breath be long and full, continuous. Good. Good. All right, now, I want you to take that extended arm over your head, and let's see, everybody, okay, never mind, I got your wrong hand up there. Okay, come on down. Ooh, shake that out. That looks a little fiery. Okay, let's go other side. So ground down through that right foot, and let's start by bringing those left toes to the ground. Let your arch of the foot wrap your ankle. Pull that knee back. Pull your hip under the body and stand tall. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Good. All right, now, if this feels very accessible, you're comfortable here, and you want that little bit of challenge, you could slide that leg up, slide the calf up, maybe it or the foot up, maybe it wraps the calf. It could come to knee. You could reach down and bring it up even taller if you like. Pull that knee open. Hip still pulls under body. We still want that beautiful tall posture. And then reach that arm up and overhead if you're feeling comfortable. Find your focal point. Find your drishti. Find that focus. Let your breath be full and continuous. Big inhale through the nose. Fill the belly. Long, soft exhale from the nose. Let your breath move as though it's on a conveyor belt. We inhale. Exhale. Good. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good. Let's release. Good job. Okay, so we're still behind that chair. Let's find a standing mountain. So we're going to bring those feet right underneath of the hips. Peek down. Make sure your toes are pointed straight ahead. We have the hands to the sides of the body. Now, if you want to keep a hand at the chair, you are welcome to keep a hand at the chair, or you could release the chair and take a big inhale, reach your arms high up overhead. And on the exhale, let the hands float back down. Good. Inhale, take that big reach of the arms up and overhead. Exhale, float the hands back down. All right, this time, invitation. Inhale, bring the arms up. Maybe take your gaze up and look past your thumbs. Exhale, cactus your arms, pull the elbows down, squeeze your shoulder blades together, broaden across the heart, maybe the gaze lifts. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, come back down. Good, inhale, circle the arms overhead. And on this next little bit, if you want to take an exhale and just fold halfway so that your forehead comes close to the back of your chair, you can kind of land here. Or if you feel like you have the space and the ability to fold all the way over, you could just reach for the toes and let your head hang all the way down, reaching towards the toes. Yeah, good. But that forehead to the back of the chair is a beautiful place to land too. That's going to help us find that long spine. Now, start to come back up to stand. That big inhale breath, we drag the hands up the length of your legs. Roll your shoulders towards your ears. Lift through the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders down your back. Open your palms to the front of the room. Inhale, take that big reach again. And let's do that same thing again. We exhale and we fold. Maybe the hands come to the back of the chair and we just find that flat back. Or we fold all the way over and reach towards the toes. Support yourself in a way that feels good for you. On the inhale, we come to stand. We drag the hands up the length of the legs, or we just stand here, hinging from the hips. Roll your shoulders towards your ears, down your back. Lift through the crown of your head, palms open to the front of the room. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we fold. Good. Beautiful. Inhale and stand. Drag the hands back up, round through the spine, shoulders round to the ears, and down the back. We open the palms to the front of the room. Good, good, good. All right, let's get a little more creative here, and let's move into a warrior pose. So let's bring our left foot close to the chair, and let's, hands at the back of the chair, take a long step back with your right foot. Now, whatever your long step looks like is what your long step looks like. We're gonna seal our right foot down and point your toes to about 2 o'clock or so. Now, your hips, I want you to keep them facing your chair. Okay? And then we're gonna keep our right hand at the back of our chair, and we're gonna reach our left hand up towards the sky. Now, with our hips square and our shoulders square to our chair, we're in a warrior one pose. Our gaze is gonna be straight ahead of the body. If you're feeling pretty confident here and you're pretty stable and sturdy in your feet, you could bring your right hand up and over your head too, palms to face. Now, wherever you're at, whether you just have one hand lifted or both hands lifted, I want you to think about relaxing your shoulders a little bit so that you're not shrugging your shoulders up around your ears. So let them kind of melt down your back a little bit. It doesn't need to be a forceful pull down, but just let it kind of soften. Okay, take a big breath in. And a breath out. Good, full inhale. Exhale, bring that left hand back down to your chair or both hands back to the chairs. Now let's take this into a warrior two. We're gonna open the hips towards the side of the body, and maybe that back toe turns just a little bit more, so it's more like at 3 o'clock or so. We're gonna keep that front bend. We're gonna keep that front knee over the front ankle. Let's leave our left hand on our chair this time, and then remember that hi-ya we did earlier? Bring that right arm behind your body. Good, great. So now our hips and our shoulders are open towards the window, and we're still looking now over your front shoulder. So you're still looking towards me. And then if you're feeling pretty comfortable, you could bring that left hand up parallel to the ground. Nice. Don't forget about your front knee. We're checking in. We want to make sure that you're pressing that leg open. Just be really mindful that that front knee is not doing this. We want to engage and press that inner thigh open. We just want to protect that front knee. Good. A nice full breath in and a full breath out. Love it. Everybody's extended here. Now let's take this into a big reach of the arms up and over the head and straighten your front leg. Good. Let's flow back down to that warrior two. Good. Let's flow back up, straighten your front leg, reach your arms, and flow back warrior two. Beautiful. Bring that left hand back to the chair. Bring your right hand back around to the front, square the heart and the hips, and then step your right foot back forward. Nice work, folks. All right, let's ground through the right foot and step our left foot back. Left toes are going to point to about 10 o'clock or so if you're thinking about the hands of a clock. Front knee over front ankle, both hands on the chair. Our hips are still square, shoulders are square. Hi, Mom. I don't know if she's really watching or not, but there's one person, I'm just assuming it's my mom. Okay, shoulders and hips, good. All right, we're gonna keep that right hand on the chair. Reach your left hand for the sky. Gaze is straight ahead. Good. Think about your shoulders and see if you can turn them towards the chair. Good. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. If you're feeling really stable here in your feet, you could reach your right hand up as well. Palms are facing each other. And then just that little bit of thought about your shoulders. Have they shrugged up around your ears, or are you able to let them soften down along the back? Beautiful. Good. Bring your right hand back down to the chair and left hand back down. And now let's find our warrior two. So we're going to open up the hips. We're going to turn those left toes now to about 9 o'clock or so. Hold on to that lunge of your front knee. If you need a little break, feel free to straighten it out. And then bring your knee back over your ankle. Right hand to right chair, to the chair. And then let's take that left hand, open it towards the back of the body. Now bring your gaze back towards the front, towards your chair. And if you're feeling pretty stable here, you could bring that right hand up as well, palm to the ground. Now, if palms to ground really is bothering your shoulders and the rotators, you could turn thumbs to sky. So kind of play with that and see if either or feels better or worse for you. Good. Take a big breath in and a breath out. Now let's bring this up and over. Inhale, straighten your front leg, bring your palms together. Exhale, flow back down. Good. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, flow back. Good. Once more. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, flow back to your warrior two. Beautiful. Remember to be mindful of that front knee anytime you're in this. Let that right hand come back. Bring your left hand forward. Step back to your chair. Beautiful. All right, let's come back to our seats, my friends. Also, we're all friends now if you didn't know that. I'm terrible about that, and I know some people hate that, and I'm like, it's all about building community, and that's everybody's friends now. Okay, and if you see each other at the grocery store, I expect you to speak, just so you know. All right, you could be like, hey, aren't you that lady from chair yoga? Didn't I sit next to you at chair yoga? I'm sure I did. How are you? Okay, all right, find yourself in your seat again. Find those sit bones, those little bony points. You should feel those under the body. Knees right in front of the hips, toes pointing straight ahead. And if that means you tip forward so you can check in on the toes, check in on the toes. Shoulders landing right over hips. As I told you guys, I like to end class with just a few moments of stillness as well. So we're going to come back to that. Let your hands rest at your thighs. Or if you would like to, you could bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, just so you can really let your awareness rest within your breath. And then let's come back into that breath. Take a big inhale breath through your nose. And a long, slow exhale from your nose. A full breath in. And a full breath out. Take a big inhale breath. This time, try to let your exhale be longer than that inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then let's just find this moment to rest. You can close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Allow the space between your eyebrows to soften. The skin across the forehead to relax. We draw the lips together, the teeth slightly apart. Relax the jaw. Let your shoulders melt away from the ears. Feel the body becoming heavier into the sit bones and into the seat of your chair. Feel the way that your feet are connected to the earth and the weight of the legs in the body. Let your breath be that smooth and continuous loop of inhale into exhale. Let's bring our hands back to heart center, palm to palm, fingertip to fingertip, thumbs resting at the heart space, bowing our heads. And here, just a moment of gratitude towards this practice, to you for making space in your day, for this opportunity to come together in community and in collective energy. Even the chipped bowl was once a cherry tree on Mount Yoshino. Remember that even that chipped bowl was able to serve a bowl of soup to warm someone's soul. Your goal today, as you leave this space, is to go out and become the best chipped bowl that you are able to be. Let's take a clearing breath together. A full inhale through your nose. And a long, slow exhale. May your life be free of struggle. May your heart be open. May your body be filled with joy and ease. May you share your gifts with the world. And may you know your true self in this lifetime. Together we say, Namaste. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. Bye.